Since he's listening, I feel a little bit shy. Actually, my husband... Yes, I get it. Are you satisfied? If I have to give any advice, I would say number one, you really need to...
Hi 여러분, 저는 에미입니다. Today we're gonna talk about our experience living in Korea and also about our Korean husband. I invited Julie to my channel because she also married to Korean husband, and her answer will be in my channel. My answer will be in Julie's channel. So I will put the link down in the info box. Everyone can check about it. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, start.
So I'm actually from France, so in Europe and in Asia I believe that the cultures are quite different, you know, about our daily habits.
Oh yeah.
But since I've been studying Korea before coming to Korea, I already had a lot of like expectation of how I was supposed to behave, this kind of stuff. So there was not that many culture shock, I would say, but some culture shock were really small. For example, when I was traveling and looking around Seoul, I noticed that there weren't a lot of trash cans. And
yeah.
it's really random, but I was drinking, so it's really inconvenient. I cannot throw away my like cup or this kind of stuff. But I heard it's because there used to be some like terrorists. They put a bomb in the trash can or something. Yeah. I heard about that. I'm not sure if it's true, but anyway, it was a bit inconvenient.
Yeah.
And then another culture shock, but I would say it's like a good culture shock. If you guys know, in Paris, the subway is very old and dirty, smelly.
I heard of that.
And a little bit like dangerous because there's a lot of people, they will take the money from your pockets. But in Korea, especially in Seoul, the subway is so clean. There's like the air conditioner, so it's not that smelly, and everybody's just sitting nicely, really quiet. There's not a lot of noise, so I was really surprised, but in a very good way.
And also, actually, there's also one good part is in subway there's heater on the chair. But actually, in my country, winter we doesn't have heater
in the subway.
Yeah, so it's one of good part in Korea.
How people interact is really different in France and in Korea, because in France, even if you see the stranger, you will smile in the street, just, you know, sometime, and if you bump someone, you say sorry, and quite friendly, I would say. But in Korea, everybody is a bit focused on what they're doing. I mean, when you bump someone, most of them, they will say sorry, but when it's really busy, people just go,
they are very in hurry, I feel like.
And so just the way people behave, I would say, is a little bit different. And this is probably the biggest difference between France and Korea. Korea is pali-pali. Everything goes really fast.
Yeah.
When you go like maybe city hall, when you need some document, you go there, they give it to you right away. And everything is in the computer, so really practical, and you can get everything very fast.
Like a petar.
Yes.
Petar also very fast.
Exactly. Delivery super fast, super safe. But in France, everything takes such a long time. There's so many papers you need to fill out. Sometimes they lose your paper. I think France is a great country, but about, you know, like the efficiency, they can learn from Korea.
Yeah, they are very buddy feeling.
In Korea, Yes, I believe that if I never lived in Korea and if I was in France right now, I would probably be a different person. I mean, not extreme, but about some points. Like you mentioned, in Korea, a lot of people, they pay attention to the looks, and they're always put together. Like all my family, when they came to visit me, they all mentioned, wow, Korean people are so put together, clean, dress nicely, always do the hair, especially like they were surprised by the men, because actually French women, we do the makeup and stuff, but French men, they don't really care about their clothes or their hair. But in Korea, the man is dressed very nicely as well.
Tidy,
exactly. And so I felt more self-conscious, because I feel also I need to do my makeup all the time. I need to wear nice clothes. And then also I think my behavior, you know, in France you can speak loudly, and I was, you know, surrounded by this kind of atmosphere. But now, since I've been living in Korea for a long time, I tend to be more quiet in the public, and I always think, oh, we shouldn't speak loudly, it might bother other people. So I definitely change about my personality. From my experience, honestly, there is not that big of a difference between Korean men and other men. Like all men is men, and at the same time, all men is different because everybody got a different personality.
Yeah.
So I do agree that I feel like Korean men, they might be more responsible, just because the way Korean people are raised is the man has a lot of responsibility, especially maybe in the past. Whereas in France, you know, it's like half and half, and a lot of men, they might feel, I don't want to say they're more immature, but they might feel more relaxed about this kind of stuff. But again, there might be some Korean men which is immature, so I don't know.
Yes, because I heard from some of my friends that she say she dated with a boyfriend do 偶像管理 or suddenly disappear when they are dating like that.
Right.
Yeah, some cases like that. But actually our husband didn't do like
that.
So 참고하세요.
It's like hard to categorize all the same men, but mostly I would say Korean men, they're like put together, like I said. They care about how they look and they're responsible.
And also because in my country, some people will say stereotype about Korea,
right?
Like controlling or dominating. But how you feel?
But because I feel like maybe in Taiwan, maybe Korean dramas are popular, this kind of stuff. Actually, in France, Korea was not really famous. You know, now people know about Korea through K-pop and maybe some drama, but it's really rare. So if you talk to most French people, they will not have any stereotype about Korea because they don't know that much. So I didn't have expectation. So when I came, I was like, okay.
Okay.
Actually, my husband, yes, I get it. He's not like romantic by the, you know, sense, like buying the flowers, buying the chocolate. Like, he doesn't really do this kind of events, but he's really romantic in the way like he treats me. He's really considerate. Actually, really, I never met a person in my life who will think about me first in any situation.
Oh yeah.
Really, I don't think I can find other husband who would put me first like he does. So it's hard to find like one specific stuff that was really touching, but just he's considerate and always try to do stuff that he knows is going to make me happy. And if I have to choose like one thing, he bought me a house.
Yeah, very realistic way.
Yes, thanks to him, we have a really, you know, nice house, and he really thinks hard about our future, and all the choices he makes is for us to, you know, grow as a couple and have a future together. So
I think it's very important.
Are you satisfied? Number one is what I just mentioned before. He's super considerate about me, about my feelings, always put me first. If he knows something is gonna hurt me or, you know, make me uncomfortable, he will just not do it. He will find another way to do something that, you know, makes me happy. Number two, since he's listening, I feel a little bit shy.
Got stressed.
Yeah. We match really well. Our personalities are very different. I'm much like more emotional and he's really strong and realistic. So sometimes it's a little bit different because he cannot understand all my emotions. But at the same time, we balance each other well because I'm be soft and he's be strong. So it's a good match. And at the same time, we're also very similar because we're both quite stubborn. Like when we fight, what I like about him, he's never gonna let it go. He will
solve the problem.
Yeah, like even sometimes I'm really tired, I don't want to talk anymore. But he's like, no, let's solve it. So we
need to solve it.
Yeah, so we go to bed like relaxed because we shouldn't go to bed angry with each other, right?
Yeah.
So the third point what I like him is he wants to be right, but like just even something is not good for him, but he wants to do what's the right thing to do in general. So he has really good like moral standard, and he always tries not to harm to other people, kind of follows the rules, this kind of stuff. So when I'm with him, I feel like safe.
Always on the right.
Yeah, he tried to be on the right path.
Good person.
Yes, I think so. It wasn't romantic. We didn't, say, oh, we want to marry each other to spend the rest of our life together. At first, we decided to get married just for being practical because of the visa, because our situation, both of us, we didn't want to do long distance relationship.
Yeah.
So we decided to get married because this way we can stay together and work on our relationship, together.
Yeah.
I would say that the reason why we decided to stay married is because we love each other, obviously, and as I spend time with him, I can really imagine myself having babies with him and, growing old with him, and all the experience that I want to do in the future. I think he's going to be by my side. If I imagine the future but I only think, oh, I'm gonna do this by myself, then maybe I'm not married to him. But when I think about future, I always think he's by my side. So I think that's why we're staying married.
You will put each other into your future plan.
Exactly. Yes and no. When I first get married, like I said, it was more for being practical, so I didn't have a lot of expectations stuff is going to change. I just thought, oh, it's just a bunch of papers. But in reality, I felt, since I'm married, I feel more committed to him. I feel,
Promise?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we have engagement to each other, so I cannot do whatever I want. I always need to take into consideration I have a husband, so I need to, take care of him, and he needs to take care of me. So always when I make a decision, I think about our marriage first and then about what I want.
Yeah.
So it's like a compromise. So I didn't really expect that I would be so, engaged to someone, because it's like really your life partner. Like no matter what you do, he's going to be there. So
you will feel
right, it's
reliable.
Yeah, at the same time I have someone to rely on, but at the same time I feel some maybe pressure, because I feel like I want the best life for him. So I have some responsibility to be a good wife and to do good things for him. But it's worth it, I guess.
Yeah, we both need to learn how to be good life partner for each other.
Exactly. Like you mentioned, it's about experiencing a new culture, new language. Everything is a bit new. Also, like just the dating culture in France and in Korea is very different, the way people date. So that's really interesting. And then,
how different?
Like for example, I don't know how to say, but France is really relaxed. When you start dating someone,
you enjoy.
Yeah, you don't really have pressure to impress that person. You're just dating and you see where it goes. But again, I'm just speaking for my husband. I felt like he was really serious about the relationship, and he was really committed to me. So at the same time, I felt a little bit pressure, but also it makes me wanna pursue the relationship more. Whereas if I was dating a French guy, maybe I'm like after a few weeks, I don't really care, and I move on. It's hard to explain, but the dating
attitude, is quite different.
Yeah, the dating experience is different. But I feel like also it depends about the people's personality. Mochi, she's so cute. If you do like this, she will kiss you.
She is Ekyo Jenny, so cute.
And the bad thing, so sometimes the language barrier is hard, because when we're getting angry, I want to say something but it doesn't come out good, because English is not my first language, and my husband is saying sometimes he will use the sentence in English but it's not the proper grammar, so the meaning is a little bit different. So I get really angry, and then he say, no, but this is not what I meant, and then he explained to me in Korean, this is what I meant. But then why did you say like this?
Yeah, that part is really hard.
Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating, but since he's good at English, I'm quite, relieved, because I think communication is like number one most important between the couple. So
language always the first problem,
right,
between foreign couple.
Yes. I would say my husband, actually, he didn't change too much, except gaining the weight. But actually, about the personality, he just became more intense. But he was always really responsible, really reliable, and considerate about me. So when we got married, he was like times 10. He becomes more extreme about
level up.
Yeah, exactly. He was level like one before, now he's level 2, like more intense, but still really committed to me, really faithful.
Good man.
Yeah. And me, I would say, at first, when we first get married, I think I was really selfish many times, because I just didn't have this kind of experience. I just thought all the time, oh, I need to do what makes me happy. But as we get married and we spend a long time together, I think I changed by being less selfish and more considerate about my husband and our couple. Everybody is different, and every experience is going to be extremely different. But if I have to give any advice, I would say number one, you really need to communicate to each other. It's super important to tell what's in your mind, what's in your heart, because if you don't share what you're really feeling, then you're going to regret it, because there might be misunderstanding. And so communication is super important, because you don't want to break up over some silly misunderstanding. And then number two, you need to accept each other like for who you are, because when we first got married, I think we want to change each other a little bit. Like, because when I was young, I imagined, oh, when I get married, I want my husband to be like this, like this, like that. Exactly, but it's not realistic, and obviously I'm not perfect also. My husband really accepts me for who I am, even I have a lot of flaws and I'm not perfect, but he accepts everything. And I learned to accept everything about him, the good, the bad, and we try to improve, to be better. I want to be better wife, and he wants to be better husband, but we shouldn't try to change each other.
Improve together.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thanks for Julie for sharing this experience with us. And if you have any question you want to ask to Julie, please leave your comment. We will be happy to receive it. Okay, so if you like our sharing, please subscribe our channel. Okay, thank you for watching.
Bye bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Yay. 이걸 어렸을 때부터 잘못.
힌트. 오케이. 셋.
혼나고 싶어.